Good day, y'all. Welcome to a new episode of the show. I'm Gwen Aussem. Thank you so much for listening. I gotta keep it real. I woke up on the completely wrong side of the bed today. I know I'm 7 months pregnant. Sleeping's not the easiest, but when I tell you I woke up and I thought, it's time to go back to sleep. I just can't today. That was the mood that was happening. And you know what? I find that, yes, I'm pregnant, but at the same time, I caused this myself, staying up too late, scrolling on social media. And I find that when I wake up particularly exhausted, I think life is trying to tell me something. And as I was getting into the workday today, I was really reflecting on the pressure that I have been feeling lately. Let me just throw a few things at you. This week there's been business taxes, personal taxes, and I'm married now, so we're doing taxes together, launching a course. You know what really actually gets me though? It's when I have good friends or family that text me or message me and want to just like connect, and I don't get back to them. These little things of like, oh, I should reach out to that person. Oh, I should reach out to that person. That kind of stuff is what really like gets in my psyche and erodes the confidence. So I got to work on that. But isn't it funny? It's so easy to post for me to say like post something on social media and then overthink it and think, are those people that texted me wondering why I'm posting on social media but not getting back? It's all swirling, it's just a great concoction of mental poison. But that's life. And when you're up to some things in life, there is pressure. Um, but it's also a beautiful thing when I just took a step back this morning and just realized I created all of it, even the idea of needing to text people back and feeling that pressure. They might not even probably be thinking about me. Most people aren't thinking about us when we think that they are. Um, so really the intention behind today's episode is just a reminder that when we wake up on the wrong side of the bed or you start the day in that foul mood, that does not need to be your entire day. We really got to turn that around because I don't know why, but lately I've been hearing a lot of messages from people I admire about how we have this expiration date on our forehead that we don't know when it's going to be our last day. Not to be like too dark or anything, but it's just I forget that so often. I think I'm going to be here forever. I think we all think in some way that we're going to be here in our human form for a very long time. And if I have a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, it's not a big deal, but it very well could be. So let's remind ourselves that life is supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be enjoyable. And if you've created yourself a little pressure concoction, let's try and turn that around, shall we? Get back into alignment, get back into that empowered leader in your life versus letting those wild emotions or the backseat drivers of your life kind of control the show. So here's what I did today just to kind of get back. And I'd love to hear what you do as well, because we all have our own ways. But something that helps me is, first of all, just write it all down. Like, what is on your mind? Just get a piece of paper, get a nice pen, and just brain dump. After that, it's like, okay, it's here. Okay. The things that are really glaring are all here. And then asking yourself, what do I actually need to do today? There are a lot of things that we think we need to do today, but in reality, it's okay if it's tomorrow. It's okay if it's in a couple of days. And from responding to an email to creating content for your course to responding on that text message. Something I always talk about is just the importance of alignment and how when you are in that aligned place, everything becomes easier. The texts are easier. The creation of any kind of content you want to make is easier. The conversations flow. So we need to just get back into that good place. So I write all the things down and then I realized, wow, there's really not that much that's imperative to happen in this exact moment. So we're getting back to that power of now vibe. Now, what is also pretty interesting is what we do sometimes to release the pressure. And going back to the power of now, I've been reading that again lately. And Eckhart Tolle, the author, talks about how when we have that mental chatter or we're living kind of in the future where it causes anxiety or the past where it causes that stress, we sometimes don't know how to properly cope with that mental chatter. And that's when we go to things like drinking too much alcohol or overeating or scrolling social media, numbing out, watching random Netflix shows that you don't really care about. Maybe it's sleeping. That's a little bit more on the healthier side, but some ways I've found that help me that are on the healthier side is sometimes just journaling, like brain dumping, I guess is my strategy, but just writing down what's going on, because those emotions that pop up that are stopping us or making us feel terrible, it's really, life is trying to tell us something and we're just trying to steamroller over it. And so journaling, maybe get to the root of what's really causing you that stress. Maybe you just need a good cry. Okay. Doesn't matter what your gender is. Crying is good once in a while if you've got a lot of buildup of energy. Or what I used to do, especially if you've got a lot of rage. When I used to train in martial arts, it was just so nice to like punch some things, punch some pads, find ways to just kind of like have that really fast, swift movement to try and move some of that rage kind of out of you. And in The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle talks about how when he became enlightened and he was sitting on a bench, he saw like, I think 2 ducks on a pond. I think they like ran into each other or they were going after each other to kind of start a fight. They like bump into each other or something like that. And what he noticed is they had a moment of anger, but then when the ducks swam away, they kind of flapped their wings to like get the anger, the emotions off of them so they could go on their merry way. And as humans, we have these little kind of moments where we get triggered or we're angry or we're sad. And instead of just like shaking it off, finding a healthy way, cry, journal, exercise, walk, punch something, we instead just sit with it and it just starts to grow. And we're like, why do I feel so terrible? It's like you've been having some negative emotions just like swirling inside your brain for quite some time. Meditation can also be good. Although sometimes if you're in that really challenging mental headspace, having a meditation moment might not be best because you're just going to be sitting with that. You might want to like walk around and listen to some heavy metal or something like that. But yes, negative emotion is that indication to me that something has gone off track. I think we're supposed to enjoy being alive, enjoy living life. And when we are in that state of negativity, we got to get back. And so with all the kind of self-imposed pressure that I was putting on myself, I was like, what is going on? And then it hit me. A pattern for me is that perfectionism that comes up where I want to do everything perfectly. I don't want to make any mistakes. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to send an email with a typo in it. I want to look like I'm successful or doing things in the right way. And my God, it's exhausting because it's not perfect ever. There's no such like thing as perfect, because even if I think something I create is perfect, somebody else, maybe it's a customer, would be like, this is horrible. Even if I'm like, this is amazing. The key is I would get to a point where I'm just very proud of it. So the negative emotion coming towards me can just bounce right off. And yeah, perfectionism really is fear. And fear is trying to help us, I think. Fear is trying to keep us where we are right now because it knows how to handle where we are right now. Fear is not good for the long term. Let's just put it that way. If I, lived by the fears that I had 10 years ago, I would not be in a relationship, I would not be married, I would not be pregnant. I was too afraid of dating a guy and getting my heart broken. These fears are there to perhaps warn us, but also challenge us. And so one of the ways that I'm able to get over fear is something I've shared on a past episode of the podcast. It's something that really takes the pressure off of me. And that's the concept of give it an imperfect shot. Try it, experiment, chip away at it, give it a shot. Whether that is something in your business, whether that is going out on a date, starting a new relationship. It's like the person you go on this date with might not be the one, but you're giving it an imperfect shot. I remember when I went on my first date with Josh many moons ago, that was basically the whole I was like, yeah, let's give it an imperfect shot. I don't know how to date. I've obviously been doing it wrong my entire life because I've never met somebody to settle down with. But I just remember that whole vibe of like, there was no pressure when I went on this date because I'm like, let's just see how this goes. Let's just have fun. Now imagine we could just take that into anything, even with your taxes. Let's give it an imperfect shot. Let's see how it goes. Try it. There could be an error, even though I'm hiring professionals to do my taxes. And creating my course offerings, it's all imperfect shots. It's all me trying my best to teach what I've learned over the years. But doing this also builds that leadership muscle. And my God, the world needs more aligned, clear leaders. I've been reflecting a lot on leadership lately, and even in creating my course offering called Lead the Course. It's very intentional because when you become a teacher, especially online, and you're teaching publicly to your students, it requires a level of leadership and leading yourself as well as leading your students. And I've been really reflecting on what I believe a leader is. And a few things that come to mind for me are clarity, decisiveness, generosity of sharing and of spirit, being appreciative that they have people to even lead, being a breath of fresh air, not just somebody with a new perspective, but also somebody that breathes some life into you. Like after you listen to this person, you feel like you can take on the world. And also transparency. And that's kind of why I also wanted to create a podcast and start with some solo episodes. I truly appreciate when people are transparent. And you don't have to share every secret that's going on in your life, but just we want to know what's going on. Like we're smart these days. We can read through the facades of social media and that everything's perfect all the time. We can read the energy of people nowadays more than ever. Maybe I should speak for myself, but I think a lot of our intuition, I hear we're moving it from the information age to the intuition age. So we're really tuning in to where people are at. So transparency is just valuable because we can kind of understand where people are at when they walk in a room anyway. I saw this great quote that kind of explains this too by someone named Carl Menninger, an American psychiatrist. And he says, what the teacher is more important than what he teaches. I love that. I absolutely love that. And when I think of one of my mentors, Sherry Salata, who has her own course called The Course, wrote a book called The Beautiful No, has a great online community called The Support System. I love being in the energy of Sherry. She has these weekly gatherings where she'll just share what she's going through for the week and then opens up the floor and everyone connects. And it's just like, I don't even care like what she's talking about. It's just who she is makes me want to be better. Like I leave the call being like, okay, let's go life. Let's do this. So yes, I'm just wanting to remind everyone that really that for all the leaders that we admire, every once in a while, they're waking up on the wrong side of the bed. Who knows? It could be every day they're waking up on the wrong side of the bed, but it's their commitment to shaking it off, to stepping up, that really separates the truly successful people from the ones who don't quite have it yet. I'm working on it. And I think I'm the best I've ever been at doing this in my entire life, but I'm truly excited to see how this continues to unfold, especially with a new chapter with motherhood on the horizon and still having a commitment to growing a business at the same time. So we'll see how that goes. There'll be a lot of grace. I'm sure a lot of waking up on the wrong side of the bed, but using the tools to turn it around. And I really hope that you're on this journey with me. Like, why not? Let's just step up and be our best possible selves and enjoy life on a new level. So I'm coming to the end of the episode. But before you go, if you have been following me for a while, or maybe the student is ready and the teacher just appeared, and you have been wanting to create and sell your own course, I would love to help you get there. I would love to help you do this. Take your imperfect shot. Link in the show notes to learn more about the Lead the Course program, or join my email list where I share lots of tips and advice on how you can get aligned and teach what you know. So thank you so much for listening today. No matter what state you're in right now, I hope it gets better and better and better, and you have an absolutely beautiful day. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.